Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we revisit Purple Cat Productions featuring Galen Lee. Next, my husband Ken makes his excellent alioli. But first, I go food trucking with a taste of New Orleans. Well, around town, you've probably seen the Taste of New Orleans food truck. And Alan Franco is the proprietor. And let me tell you, if you want some low country food, this is the man to see. What made you start a food truck in our area?
Well, I'm from the area, and I've worked from New York, San Francisco, and everywhere in between at restaurants, country clubs, hotels, or whatnot, and wanted to get out of it. Wanted to do my own thing, and some friends of mine decided, hey, you know what? Let's help this guy out. Let's do something. So we were going to do a landlocked restaurant, but why put money into somebody else's building? Too much money to build something from the ground. Food truck, and we researched a food truck, and made sense.
Well, you know, our market is really not food trucky.
Right.
You know, Austin, Texas, you hear,
Right.
San Francisco, my gosh, they've got a whole region, and even like Jacksonville, Florida. I know those are bigger epicenters for food trucks. How is it going in our region?
Well, one of my goals when I became a chef, I wanted to educate people on food. And what better way to educate people on food than with a food truck? So trying to just do the different things, and you know, we've had a great response. People going ooh and ah over food truck. They're really, the food, they've never had anything like this, and we're getting really good reception. We had a great year last year, and it's even better this year.
Well, you're classically trained from what, CIA?
CIA, went to the Culinary Institute of America.
And how has the cramped quarters, I mean, that had to be some adjustment, learning from a regular kitchen to, these confined quarters.
Well, I've worked at a lot of different restaurants, like I said, all over, and, I worked at Station Square in Liberty, and that's where I cut my teeth with Mario at the VIP club and stuff, and that kitchen's small. And so, the smaller the kitchen, the easier you can get around. You don't have to make too many steps. So we're gonna make the shrimp tacos.
Oh, those were delicious.
So what I do is I use a white corn tortilla, and we lightly fry them. And basically these are enchilada shells. And then I just put it over here on the flat top. Now our shrimp, like with everything else, is wild caught. I use a 2123 or 2125 shrimp.
And you batter them yourself?
They're soaked in buttermilk overnight, and then I do a cornmeal flour dusting on them. Basically, the taco gets a chipotle coleslaw, which I make. So there's I have my mango corn salsa made with fresh cilantro, mango, tomatoes, and garlic. So then I have a 12 blend seasoning that I make myself, and I toss anything that's in the fryer. We put there on the seafood, and then this here is a cilantro sour cream that I make, and these are amazing.
Okay. Wow, I gotta get a bigger bite. That cilantro sour cream is delicious. Really, really, really good. I can attest to Marjorie's rum cake.
Okay.
Now, I had the plain Italian rum cake,
Great.
and it is, and I am not kidding you, one of the very best cakes I've ever eaten.
Thank you.
My husband and I were going sliver by sliver. It's so moist. Where did you get that recipe? Marjorie, by the way, is Alan's mother.
Yes.
Not wife. So where does this recipe come from, Marjorie? It's delicious.
Actually, my sister gave it to me, and I've been baking it for 30-some years.
I mean, it is so delicious. Is that real butter in there?
Yes.
And
Yes.
now you have made, I'm trying to try this. I'm going to eat it with my fingers. This is a Bananas Foster rum cake.
Yes.
Did you make this up?
Yes. You see the caramel?
So moist. Oh my Lord.
You like it?
I love it.
This is a fresh strawberry lemonade. It's absolutely amazing. It's got real strawberries, real sugar, And real lemon juice, not from concentrate. It's pure lemon juice.
And it is so refreshing. I mean, I had no idea when I drank that you made that yourself.
Yeah.
And I mean, what a difference in fresh fruit juice, you know?
I'm always looking for help. You know, we got a lot of stuff coming up, so I'm looking for qualified help. Somebody's got a driver's license.
How is it driving this beast down the road?
This is all right to drive, but I need somebody to follow me in my van and stuff when we go to different events. Because, you know, we got events where we're gone for 3 or 4 days.
Now, where do I find out? Because, I mean, you are somewhere 7 days a week.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then you post your schedule where?
I post it on Facebook.
Every week?
Every week. I post it Sunday night. I'm probably going to start taking Sundays off, or Mondays, one or the other, but I post it on Sunday night where I'm going to be for the whole week. And we're usually out 11 to 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. It depends on the business is and how I'm feeling.
Well, I'll tell you, that it really is, everything I've had is delicious. And then the sweet endings with your mom's rum cakes. I mean,
it's truly a taste of New Orleans. You know, I've had people from New Orleans come up here and say it's better than anything they've ever had down there. And I need that because I never think my food's good enough. As a chef, we never think it's good enough. We always want to improve it. But, you know, the public is just, I mean, we've served over 15,000 people since we've been open for a year and 2 months.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. I've got your next t-shirt idea for the magic trick. Eat, drink, celebrate, repeat.
Casey,
like
that is our slogan.
Okay, well, I got this for
you know
t-shirt.
what? I think we need to put that on a t-shirt. But yes, you know, when it comes to our food, we truly have the passion for bringing great quality food. We make from scratch. We support local farmers with our farm-to-table menu, and that's what we do. And then when it comes to our beverages, our drinks, I mean, we have 41 craft beers on tap. We really have the passion for the craft beer, and we are the only place this side of the state that does wine on tap. You cannot get a better quality. And then celebrate here at Magic Tree. You know, it's all about creating a memory for people.
And you see all the different celebrations, all the things that people just love to party here. And I'll tell you, eat, drink, celebrate, repeat.
Cheers.
Part of growing up in Youngstown is growing up with Rowley Brothers Markets. Even friends who have moved out of town come to shop and say hi when they're home for a visit.
And my family has always shopped at Rowley's, and today they are still my favorite grocery store. My recipes depend on the best ingredients, and that's why I get them at Rowley's, where you'll always find the freshest food at the best prices.
Rowley Brothers is a proud sponsor of the KC Malone Show. The quality that customers have come to expect is true local flavor.
$5 Burger Mondays at Sadie's Place, inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown.
My dad, Stephen J. Kamara, opened a jewelry store in 1948. He sold high-quality jewelry at a fair price. We are keeping the family tradition alive. I'm Bob Kamara. Along with my children, Rob and Brianna, Kamara's has the largest selection of diamonds and engagement rings in our area. You can trust Kamara Jewelers to offer the best value and personal service. Kamara Jewelers, locally owned by the third-generation Kamara family and working on the fourth. Get real, get Kamara.
Well, Ken is back in the kitchen with me.
I'm back again.
And he is an excellent cook. He really is.
Thank you.
But you really don't cook from a recipe. It's from the heart.
That's true. I just don't like writing things down.
And his aglio olio is delicious. It's the best. He always makes it. I never make it. But trying to get this recipe down so we can share it with you and get the measurements and
Well, a lot of it is
quantity.
timing too. So you've really got, because garlic comes in different sizes, you know, so you want to make sure you pick out a bigger clove. Originally, when I did this, I did it with Gilroy garlic, those big pieces of garlic. But we don't get that all the time, so it's the larger cloves, and you kind of time it. And a lot of people will tell you, and I have a number of Italian friends who don't like to overcook their garlic because they think it tastes bitter. But if you do it on a lower heat and you get the golden and get to the brown part, it's really not bitter. We can go over that later. It more caramelizes the garlic, but we could talk more about
Well, there's
that.
a million recipes for this.
Yes.
You know, but the common ingredients are, you know, olive oil, parsley, crushed red pepper, and you have
I like a little white wine and butter in my aglio-olio, and you probably pronounce it differently than I do.
Yes, and you like a linguine noodle rather
Yes.
than an angel hair, which a lot of people
Correct.
like a thinner noodle. So why don't we get started? We'll get the ingredients. For Ken's aglio-olio, you'll need 1 pound of linguine, 1/2 cup olive oil, 1/2 cup white wine, 7 whole cloves of garlic, 1 clove of garlic minced, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, 1/2 to 1 cup of chopped parsley, 1/2 cup of grated Romano, and salt and pepper to taste.
Your sauce should take as long as it takes to boil, which is like 8 to 10 minutes. So I got a rolling boil, I've salted the water. I'm gonna put the pasta and get that going. There you go. And then I am gonna start the sauce. So, olive oil. Now the difference with my aglio-olio than other people's that I know is that basically what I'm doing is I'm browning my garlic. I'm taking it a step further. It's not just a marinated oil. So I'm gonna brown my garlic in this oil. Then I'm gonna take the pasta and cook my pasta in that garlic oil. So it's almost gonna turn brown. So you can see my garlic is starting to cook as the oil gets hotter. And what I like to do is use a wok, because then I can totally submerge my garlic in there and it doesn't make as much of a mess. As the oil heats up, I like to turn it down to a medium high and then eventually medium. But I want this whole piece of garlic to be a light brown. So I still like to cook it a little farther. I like to throw a little pinch of salt on the garlic too as it cooks. And eventually I'm going to add the red pepper and the black pepper and a little bit of parsley, but I don't want to do that too early because that'll burn in the oil. But as you can see, my garlic is starting to get golden brown, and I like to take it a little farther. So now I'm ready to turn it down to medium. And this is 5 minutes on one side, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and let this cook. So looking over my garlic, it's getting to be a darker brown, caramelized on the outside. So while the pasta is still cooking, I'm gonna take this off the heat for now and let that sit. Okay, so I'm bringing the garlic back on a low heat now. So I've moved from high to low. And I'm gonna put my red pepper in, and I'm gonna put some black pepper in, and I'm gonna put a little bit of parsley because I just want a little bit of a texture change. And I'm gonna take my pasta, and it has to be al dente because it's gonna continue to cook in this garlic oil. And I put it right down into the sauce. And that's when I gotta toss this a little bit. You can hear that pasta cooking in there, and it'll change color a little bit to a light brown. So now, because I want over the top garlic flavor, I've got my minced garlic, a little bit of butter for a glisten, and then I put in, I'm not saving the pasta water because I like to use white wine, and a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and then more parsley, and I'm gonna toss this together, and it's all cooking up. You'll see as soon as you can get that stick of butter melts down and you see how the pasta glistens a little bit, it'll be absorbing all that garlic oil and still cooking. It just lightens up. You can't even see that there's really sauce there. It's really just a nice garlic pasta. There's a full flavor there. What do you think?
It is delicious. It really is. It is so consistent. Every time you make this, it really is this delicious.
There's nothing better than leaving a little for the next morning, and you have a couple of fried eggs. You put that on as a leftover, and it's really good. But here thanks for letting me do this.
Well,
and I know it's hard. There's a timing thing going on here, and I'll come over and make it for you if you want.
All right, well, I talked to our buddy Phil Rita. He's our beverage consultant. And when I told him about your recipe, he said that we, to counteract the spice and the heavy garlic, to go with like a fruity Pinot Noir. And he recommended this Underwood from Oregon.
Love Oregon.
So,
cheers.
Cheers. And that really balances out nicely with the strong, robust flavors from your aglio. Thank you, Ken.
You're welcome.
Just go to my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com, and look for the recipe for Ken's aglio. You are going to love it. Cheers. Thanks again, honey.
This is the Casey Malone Show.
Step up to Exmark, the mowers that have been beautifying landscapes for more than 3 decades, featuring high-performance zero-turn riders like the new Exmark Radius, starting at just $49.99. With any Exmark, you'll get a great-looking cut in less time, every time. That's why landscape pros purchase Exmark 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand. So what are you waiting for? Exmark, ready to work for you.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. Every personal injury case has its own unique circumstances. The best advice I can give to anybody who suffered an injury is please call a lawyer. Don't try to settle the case on your own. When you contact our office, you will talk to a lawyer. And we're not going to charge you for just walking in our door or giving us a call. In fact, we won't get a fee unless your case is successful. Personal attention is what our clients deserve. It's our #1 priority.
Hi everybody, I'm Danny, owner and operator of Cthulhu Prime Meats, a 3rd-generation butcher shop that not only specializes in quality, but also in customer service and doing things in a new technological way. Chris here is our customer service manager. Chris, what do you think that we do differently than any other grocery store?
I think we personally not only offer great product, but we can offer a great customer service experience as well. We try and treat all our customers like they were family and friends, ask how their family's doing just so they can keep in touch, and give them that customer experience that they deserve.
And the nice part is we not only do that inside the store, but also on CthulhuPrimeMeats.com, where you can buy a lot of our products that we carry here, whether it be grass-fed beef, organic chicken, some of our specialty burgers and bacon. Those are wonderful, and we're going to provide that same customer experience online as we do in store.
Come see us in store or online. Make your next meal one to remember.
Four for $5 till 6. Happy hour at Sadie's Place inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown.
My mom was always in my corner.
Always pushing me to do better.
I couldn't have asked for a better mother.
So when she needed assisted living,
I did my research.
Doctors, nurses,
and others with family and assisted living,
they all said,
trust the name you know.
Briarfield.
For assisted living with top healthcare experts, a caring staff, and a comfortable home-like setting.
Trust the name you know.
Briarfield.
Trust the name you know. Briarfield. Proudly serving the Valley for over 20 years.
Well, it is just about to start. Purple Cat Productions at the Oakland Theater, and I am so excited, Jimmy, to finally get to meet and see Galen Lee. How has the response been with your clients?
Oh, it's been wonderful. Our folks are so excited. It's like we're bringing Elvis Presley into town. But it's, I've been watching her just now, the sound check and the practice. It brings a tear to my eye. I mean, it is just special. God works in mysterious ways. We are blessed.
And, I've been reviewing all of her videos and, her NPR performance, and I am really excited to, be able to interview her tonight. And, watching her and listening to her, I mean, she really is inspirational. I mean, there is nothing holding this woman back. She loves her music and she loves getting it out there. And this opportunity that she has to tour the country, I'm so lucky, feel so lucky to get her here in Youngstown, Ohio.
No, thank you. We feel the same way. I just saw her, the elevator door opened and, she came plowing out with a little entourage and I'm thinking, oh my God, what did we get ourselves into? This is like a star. But she couldn't be nicer. She wants to get to know each and every one of my folks with disability and, hugging people and asking them questions. I mean, I just really, one of us.
So her rider didn't have everything but green, M&Ms or, no prima donna here.
I mean, she's beautiful, so when you see her, you think that could be the case, but no, it hasn't been the case.
Need advice, you have no clue what you're doing. Moral compass, it is spinning.
So, how is everyone tonight? When Jimmy asked me to be a part of this show and I watched Galen's videos, I was totally blown away. And then when he gave me the date, in the middle of January, such a blah, yucky time of year, I knew that Galen would be a ray of sunshine in January. And it is such an honor to have you here.
Thanks so much.
And I should mention that today is my father's birthday. So we know it's a lucky day. And, Galen came to all of our attention because of the NPR Tiny Desk series. And she was the winner last year in 2016. And if you're not familiar with the Tiny Desk, Bob Boylan is a wonderful music guy on NPR. And he started this series at his office in Washington, D.C. And the performers go to his desk in the office and perform, and they tape them. And so, Galen, you won last year. And now you've been on tour since September.
Yep.
And you also performed at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
Tell me what it was like performing at the Kennedy Center.
That was a really cool day. It was actually the 26th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And so it was a special day for me to be in DC and playing for this event. And it was just really cool. A lot of people, disability advocates and people with disabilities came, and I met a little girl with the same disability as me. She was wearing a little bow tie. It was just a really memorable day, and the show was really fun, and it was simulcast, on the internet so people could watch it from home. So it was a really special day.
And I mean, how were you received? I mean, that must have been so thrilling. The Kennedy Center is beautiful. I mean, that's such a huge venue.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was in the Millennium Hall, so it's kind of out in this long corridor with these beautiful lights hanging from the ceiling, and we were received really well, and we did 1 million signatures at the end of the show, and it was kind of the beginning of whoa, this is not Duluth, Minnesota anymore, So
we're not
that was
Kansas
cool.
anymore.
Yeah.
And the violin was not your first instrument, correct?
No, it was. I started when I was 10, but I did classical music first. So I played classically for 8 years, and then I kind of decided I wanted to try something new. So I switched over to fiddle music.
Well, that's what I want to ask you about. You know, the fiddle and the violin.
Oh.
They say the fiddle is folksy.
Yep.
And, the violin is more finery.
Yep, it's technically the same instrument. Yep.
It is. So what is the difference between playing the fiddle and playing a violin?
I mean, it depends on who you ask, because I kind of blend everything together. Fiddle music is traditional folk music passed down generally by ear, and it's been around for hundreds of years. So most of the songs that I play that I don't write myself are these traditional fiddle tunes. Some people who are more hardcore about preserving the exact tradition as it was, they don't do certain techniques like vibrato, and they have choppier bows, and they play differently. But I kind of feel like you want to play it as beautifully as you can, so why not?
now that you have this fame and fortune and this notoriety, you know, how are other people, musicians with disabilities, like how are they coming to you for advice? You're almost like a mentor for them.
Well, I mean, so far, I'm just hoping to find more people who do it. You know, when I grew up, there weren't any people that I knew of in my community that had a disability and played an instrument. And so as I perform in more and more cities, people come to the shows and they say, well, I play this, or I used to play this, or I write poetry. And I just really want to make, first of all, I want people to feel like they should do these things if they want to and that they can. But I also want to advocate for more accessibility because I had a lot of trouble, I still do, getting around, especially in my hometown for public transportation. And most of the venues aren't accessible, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done if we're serious about having musicians and other performers with disabilities be involved. And I think that that's what I want to do with my music career, in addition to play music, is to advocate for the idea of making this society more accessible, because some people think, oh, no one with a disability must want to play because I don't see that many people out there. But I think it's more of that there's barriers that are stopping people.
And it has been an honor. And let's give them a big, big, big Youngstown welcome.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for Galen Lee.
Thank you.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.